1981.
Yeah.
So he's long gone. He passed away before. Well, I think before you were born. I bet you.
Yeah. Before I was born. Yeah.
I think I was 5 when he passed away.
Oh, okay. So
So yeah, he was a young man who had cancer. Right. Everybody knows
live
the
in Chilliwack
story.
here, right?
No, Port Moody.
Okay. His brother lived in Chilliwack then.
His brother lives in Chilliwack currently.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So when our son was going through his cancer journey, I picked up a biography of Terry Fox, written by a Toronto Star journalist back in the 80s, and I was like, wow, this is like it sounds so similar to Marcus's story. So read that and then reached out on social media to his brother Daryl Fox, and we started cycling together here in Chilliwack. Part
Oh,
of it.
that's the guy that. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So we cycle, well, not every week, but when we're around, we cycle together with a group of other people.
Cool.
Lots of fun. The cycling community is actually great. Like it's actually amazing how many Christians are in the cycling community.
Okay.
In fact, we have time. Just a quick little tangent. One of the first times I went on a ride with a few of these guys, so Marcus was in the hospital, and I managed to get out on a ride with them and came back, and we're just getting to know each other. And I shared a little bit about my story, and these 3 guys, like right in Garrison, in front of the Waves coffee shop, or whatever, like, we need to pray for you.
Uh-huh.
And they prayed over me, and it was just really moving. Anyway, so it's.
Would you have grown up in a community where spontaneous prayer like that was pretty normal, where like someone was hurting and you were like, oh, let's pray for you right now? Or is that something, was it more formal?
No, yeah, prayer when I grew up was more formal, like the traditional, you pray at meal times and before you go to bed kind of thing. But especially since doing this work, and we associate with lots of different Christians they have different experiences of worship and family worship. It's become more normal for sure that we don't have to keep prayer to these set times. For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that part, it wasn't odd that they prayed, that people prayed in the middle of the day, but just that these guys who had never met felt called to pray, and I was like, oh, these are really good guys. Like, it's
good. Yeah.
So anyway, I've been cycling with Daryl for a while. And then the last number of years, every year he has they call it the Terry Fox Ride of Hope. So that happens usually on a Saturday in July. 30 to 35 cyclists bike 360 kilometers in one day, just all through the Lower Mainland. We zigzag all over the place, and it takes about 12 hours. And we do it to raise money for the Terry Fox Foundation for Cancer Research. Okay. So I've really come to appreciate the Terry Fox Foundation, just because all of the money that they raise goes directly to like cancer research. Mm-hmm. They don't spend a lot of money per dollar on marketing and advertising. Very successful. The Terry Fox runs that every Canadian kid's been part of for decades now, right? Yeah. In fact, they've surpassed the $1 billion mark in raising since Terry Fox did his Marathon of Hope. Anyway, the 45th anniversary was this year of the Marathon of Hope. So Daryl had this big idea to take a group of cyclists right across the country. So already last May, so this would be May 2024, he asked me if I wanted to be part of that group. He was looking for 10 to 12 riders. Man, I was like just giddy with excitement.
Okay.
But then reality kind of hit in, and I was like, oh, I just have a new position with ARPA Canada. Obviously got responsibilities at home. It was going to be like 35 days you're on the road. And you're away from all of that, right? So I couldn't see a way forward. We had 2 graduations throughout that time.
Yeah.
And then the other component was that we'd be riding over Sunday. And I'm not opposed to, missing church once in a while, but it just felt wrong to go for like over a month without going to church.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was really wrestling with that. Anyway, I'd come to the conclusion that, I actually can't do this. I can't expect this of myself at this stage in life. So told Daryl that, and whatever, that was fine. We kept cycling. And then earlier this year, they put a call out for one-day riders. Like, you could join the ride for one day. And so they would pick up riders throughout the country just for a day. So I applied for that, and kind of as a last sort of ditch effort, I said, hey, what about, like, would there be a compromise? Like, maybe I could go for like 8 days or something. So anyway, they jumped at it, and they're like, sure. So it was just perhaps one of what was the most fantastic experience like I've had like that in my whole life, to be part of something like that. We started
What's so simple? Like, I just think you're biking all day and then you sleep and you bike all day. Like,
It was like
describe?
we were for sure,
Okay,
but to be
what's
part of,
fantastic about it?
so, oh man, Kyle, so many aspects. So the one of the things, so there's 15 people in total. There was, so 8 riders. I was the ninth rider. They called me MTR, Mike to Regina, because I was going
Okay,
from Vancouver to Regina. So I was the ninth, kind of the odd person out, but felt very welcomed and included. It was so awesome. But anyway, 9 riders, 6 support staff, drop into Vancouver like on a Saturday, have orientation, get this all figured out. Most of us have not met each other in the past, and then have to embark on this like really hard thing where you're together for 24 hours a day. So everyone can imagine like this has the potential to go sideways really fast, right? But for everybody to kind of like get things straightened out, with took 2 or 3 days, but get that all straightened out and like focus on what we have in common. We want to raise money for cancer research here, and not on what set us apart, was just it was pretty powerful to see
mm.
that happen so quickly. And then for me personally, obviously the like to do this in memory of our son Marcus, yeah, it was just huge, emotional at times, at different, at different times throughout those. I was with them for 10 days, with the whole crew for 10 days.
Yeah.
And then for me personally, like that was the first time since I started working for ARPA that I had actually been with. They weren't all non-believers. Some were agnostic. Some had different aspects of Christianity or no faith at all. But to be with those kind of people that for that amount of time was like refreshing almost.
Yeah.
Like you just have totally different kind of conversations.
Yeah.
And we were biking side by side. So, and then we'd switch, right? So it's really fascinating because you're biking together for 8 to 10 hours a day. And then you'd switch. So you'd be talking to somebody, and then it would be like somebody would call up front, like, let's rotate. So we'd rotate, and then you'd be talking to the next person. You're like, okay, see you in an hour. When you're back again in this position, we'll continue our conversation, like that kind of thing. Just getting to know each other, what makes you tick.
Yeah.
Are you doing this for somebody,
Yeah.
somebody that passed away close by, and these
So
kind of
just because
things?
something
Like,
about time together makes a big difference. It's something I actually advocate for when I coach different business leaders, is to take time to, like, with your executives, especially executive team, to go for lunch.
mm-hmm.
And outside of like just a meeting where you discuss the topic and leave the meeting room again, but that time in between, like waiting for the waiter, waiting for your food and stuff like that, because then more natural conversations
Totally.
come up that otherwise wouldn't come up. And I definitely noticed that a lot when I used to travel the whole world for 5+ years.
Yeah.
And so you're spending a lot of time in a car or in a plane beside whoever you're traveling with, and you don't necessarily have an agenda to talk about, and so things come up that you would otherwise never be able to talk about, or you can bring up topics and they can't escape. And you can actually talk about things.
So that aspect, I think, was really, it was life changing, I feel, in a way, because
that's a big statement.
Like it really showed me that I actually lead better from within, so not from the front. And my role right now is very much like I'm a leader within ARPA Canada, but don't really work with much of the staff of ARPA Canada. Like, you're not with them. But being with those people, I wasn't like the captain of the team. I wasn't in charge of anything, but was able to be a leader, like encourage, coach, be humorous, just model good work ethic, like work hard at this. This is hard work. Like, I'm going to show we can work hard, that kind of thing. It was just, I'm like, oh, this feels so much more natural to me. It was pretty powerful in that way. And
so does it make you want to shift something in how you're leading moving forward into different things you're doing?
Yeah. Well, this is a podcast, so I don't know how personal
it's up to you.
This, but
I'm not forcing you to say anything. So
no, I would say that it. Since then, I definitely have been praying, not for a change, but Lord, if you want me to serve in a different way, if there's different things that I can do, I'm definitely open to that. I miss being able to just be with the people I work with.
What does it look like? Just to shift a little bit to, talking about church leadership. Jesus gave the example when he washed the disciples' feet. He goes, "Yeah, I am your leader," or I can't exact the terminology he uses, but do as I do. In like, no job is too small and stuff like that, and being humble, which kind of seems to be a little bit in the same line of what you're saying, like lead from within. You don't need to necessarily be the top, but like in church leadership, what do you think that looks like?
Yeah. So I think what Jesus was showing there was humility, but also servant leadership, right? I think of the same. Remember, he had that exchange with, there was James and John who were asking him, like, can I sit at your right hand? And the other one sit at the left. And then the other disciples heard that they had been talking about this and they got rebuked. And then Jesus was, showed them that servant leadership. And I'm like, okay, I think that's what we need to be doing. And it's something that we've lost, I think, with the whole like virtual world, and everybody can connect with everybody all over the place. And there's tons of efficiencies, don't get me wrong, that come with that. And there's a lot more that we can do, a lot more that we're even responsible for because we can do it. But there's nothing replaces the face-to-face interaction, the just being with each other. Like one of the most powerful lessons I ever had in my life was, Hey
guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.